Whenever you think of Angel Reese, people often mention Caitlin Clark. You've said in interviews, there's no beef, but the media keeps going on. This is your platform, so how do you feel about that situation?
Caitlin is an amazing player, and I've always thought she was an amazing player. We've been playing each other since high school. Like, literally been playing each other since high school, and like knowing that like there's never been beef. At the end of the day, it's a game that we do both love, but there is no hate, no hate. We're gonna play on the same team one day, I'm sure. Like, we're gonna definitely play on the same team one day, so.
Maybe 2028.
Did you hear about Angel Reese's latest move? It's got people talking, and not just about basketball. And Caitlin Clark? She's swinging golf clubs now. What does this mean for women's sports? Well, let me tell you, Angel Reese just dropped a bombshell that's got WNBA and NFL fans freaking out. You won't believe what she's up to now.
Basketball is literally a game. Like, I promise you, it's literally a game. We have so much fun with it, but when it comes to death threats, when it comes to people finding, like, I'm talking about people who have come down to my address, follow me home. Like, it's come down to that. Multiple occasions, people have made AI pictures of me, like, naked, literally.
Really?
They have sent it to my family members. My family members are like, uncles are sending it to me like,
no.
Are you naked on Instagram?
It's not just about hoops anymore. She's diving into the world of podcasts. And her guest choice? It's stirring up drama in ways you can't imagine. But here's the thing, this isn't just about Angel. It's shaking up the whole sports and entertainment world. Remember that intense rivalry with Caitlin Clark? Yeah, that's still burning hot. And Angel's latest move? It's like throwing gasoline on that fire. You know what's crazy? While Angel's stirring the pot, Caitlin's off doing something totally different. But I can't spill all the tea just yet. Trust me, you'll want to stick around for this one. Remember when I said Angel was stirring the pot? Well, she just turned up the heat to boiling. Her latest move isn't just about basketball. It's a whole new game, and it's got everyone from hoops fans to football lovers losing their minds. You won't believe who Angel's bringing on her podcast. It's not just any guest. It's Kayla Nicole, Travis Kelce's ex-girlfriend. Now, you might be wondering, why is this such a big deal? Well, it's all about the Travis Kelce-Taylor Swift connection. Ever since Kelce and Swift started dating, the whole world's been watching. And now, Angel's bringing Kelce's ex into the spotlight. That's like mixing oil and water. It's bound to cause some drama. Think about it. Kayla Nicole and Travis Kelce were together from 2017 to 2022. That's a long time. And now, just when everyone's talking about Kelce and Swift, Angel decides to bring Nicole onto her show. The timing couldn't be more perfect or more controversial depending on how you look at it. So what's going to happen on this podcast? That's what everyone's dying to know. Will Kayla spill some tea about her relationship with Kelce? Will she talk about how she feels seeing him with Taylor Swift? The possibilities are endless, and fans from both the WNBA and NFL are on the edge of their seats. But here's the thing, not everyone's happy about Angel's move. Some people are saying she cares more about fame than basketball. They're worried she's getting too caught up in the celebrity world and forgetting about her game. Is that fair? I don't know. What do you think? On the other hand, you've got to admit, this is a pretty smart move from Angel. She's not just an athlete anymore. She's becoming a media personality. She's building her brand, and she's doing it in a way that's got everyone talking. Love it or hate it, you can't deny it's effective. And let's be real, this podcast could be huge. We're talking millions of views, tons of publicity. It's a chance for Angel to show she's more than just a basketball player. She's got opinions, she's got personality, and she's not afraid to stir things up. But here's what's really interesting. Remember that rivalry between Angel and Caitlin Clark, the one that had everyone talking?
The WNBA Rookie of the Year race was pretty much neck and neck for the majority of the season, but now the league has officially crowned its queen. Caitlin Clark is your 2024 WNBA Kia Rookie of the Year. My girl averaged 19.2 points a game, 5.7 rebounds, and led the league with 8.4 assists per game, and that made her the first rookie to ever lead the W in that category. And I mentioned the Rookie of the Year race being tight throughout the season, but she ended up with 66 votes from a national panel of 67 sports writers and broadcasters.
Well, Angel's not letting that die down. In fact, she's using it to her advantage. She said, Caitlin is an amazing player, and I've always thought she was an amazing player. But she also pointed out that a lot of the drama comes from the fans, not from them. So what does all this mean? Is Angel Reese changing the game off the court? Is she smart for branching out, or is she risking her basketball career? And what about Caitlin Clark? How's she handling all this? While Angel's making waves off the court, Caitlin Clark's got a whole different game plan. She's stepping onto a new playing field. literally. But why is a basketball superstar swinging clubs instead of sinking threes?
Caitlin Clark's incredible season has come to a storybook ending as she won the Rookie of the Year award.
You are the 2024 Kia WNBA Rookie of
Caitlin Clark's rookie season, it was a show. Her 769 points set a new rookie record, passing Hall of Famer Simone Augustus from her debut campaign.
Get ready for this. Caitlin Clark is headed to the LPGA Tour event, the ANA Inspiration. Yeah, you heard that right. The basketball phenom is trading her sneakers for golf spikes from November 11-17, 2024 at the Pelican Golf Club in Bel Air, Florida. But she's not just there to play. Clark's got a bigger role to fill. So what's she doing at a golf tournament? Well, Clark's not just showing up to watch. She's going to be a panelist at the Women's Leadership Summit and play in the Pro-Am event. That's huge. It's not every day you see a basketball star crossing over into the golf world like this.
The Atlanta Dream set the record for the biggest crowd to watch a WNBA game in Georgia history.
Pretty exciting. One of the big reasons fans flock to State Farm Arena is, of course, the Caitlin Clark effect.
Caitlin Clark tonight.
Oh, gotta watch number 22.
I've been watching Caitlin for a couple of years, and since then I've dreamed about coming to a game.
That she's with just brought a lot to the WNBA and also to the game itself and for women, so women's sports.
You know what's wild? While Angel Reese is stirring up drama with her podcast, Caitlin Clark is out here expanding her horizons in a totally different way. It's like they're playing two completely different games off the court. Clark's move shows she's not just about basketball, she's got range, and I'm not talking about her three-point shot. This LPGA event isn't just some small-time thing either. We're talking about a $3.2 million prize purse. That's serious cash, and it shows just how big women's sports are becoming. Clark's presence at an event like this, it's a game changer. Let's talk about what this means for Caitlin Clark as an athlete. She's already broken multiple records in her rookie season, and now she's branching out into golf. It's like she's saying, hey, I'm not just a one-trick pony. This move could open up a whole new world of opportunities for her.
If Caitlin Clark somehow wins the WNBA championship this year, she will have put together the greatest rookie season in the history of professional sport. Include Caitlin Clark in the conversation, as I like to do, but we're also going to bring the NFL, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Caitlin Clark, Deion Sanders, all in the same boat with historical perspective and knowledge. And more than anything, I'm gonna blast the media.
But here's the real kicker. Clark's not just participating, she's a draw. People are buying tickets to the Pro-Am event just to see her. That's star power, folks. It shows that Clark's appeal goes way beyond the basketball court. She's becoming a cultural icon. Now let's compare this to Angel Reese's approach. While Reese is diving into the world of celebrity gossip with her podcast, Clark is quietly expanding her influence in a totally different direction. One's causing drama, the other's building bridges. Which strategy do you think will pay off in the long run? Here's what I think. Clark's move is smart. She's showing there's more than one way to build a brand in women's sports. You don't need controversy to stay relevant. Sometimes it's about pushing your boundaries and showing the world what you're capable of. This golf appearance isn't just about Clark having fun or trying something new.
The WNBA was nothing before Caitlin Clark, and she has made it into something. I know how great she is because of Caitlin Clark. The Arike Amagawali, and I'm sorry if I messed up the name, the girl in Dallas. That girl's a baller. These guys are all working off of platforms that were already built long before they got there. and they have not elevated that platform.
It's a strategic move. She's getting in front of a different audience, networking with business leaders, and showing she's more than just an athlete. She's positioning herself as a well-rounded public figure. Off the court, these two are playing totally different games. But here's the real shocker. Their actions are reshaping women's sports in ways nobody saw coming. The question is, are we ready for what comes next? Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark aren't just changing their own careers. They're shaking up the entire world of women's sports. The WNBA's never seen this much attention. Seriously, people who've never watched a game in their lives are suddenly tuning in. But here's the thing, not all of this attention is good. You know how they say there's no such thing as bad publicity? Well, the WNBA might be testing that theory right now. The Reese-Clark rivalry has people talking, sure.
Like, we've talked trash to each other in AAU. Like, that it's been that. So I think it's really just the fans, her fans. When you come, when it's behind your name, that's when a lot of people are like, oh, they think, oh, I don't like her because her fans are saying this. No, I don't believe in her heart that she has hatred towards me. Knowing my 5 fingers and my other finger pointing at my hand could literally have changed my life for like forever. It's crazy.
But it's also bringing out the worst in some so-called fans. We're not just talking about a few mean tweets here and there. Angel Reese has been dealing with some seriously scary stuff. Get this, Reese actually said, when it comes to death threats, like I'm talking about people have come down to my address, following me home. That's not just crossing a line, it's sprinting past it at full speed. How did we get from basketball to stalkers? It's like the whole situation just exploded overnight. And you know what's even crazier? The WNBA commissioner, Kathy Engelberg, seems to think this is all part of the game.
They've made Caitlin Clark more interesting. They've made Caitlin Clark the biggest star in American sports. They got this conversation wrong. The ladies, the active players in the WNBA, they haven't screwed up anything. Their little petty jealousy and sniping at Caitlin Clark is why 2 million people are tuning in to watch Caitlin Clark play basketball and to watch a bunch of other women blow layups every night.
She said, you need rivalry. That's what makes people watch. They don't want everybody being nice to one another. Excuse me? Since when did death threats become part of sports entertainment? Brenna Stewart and other players are not having it. They're calling out the league, saying there's no place for hate in basketball. And they're right. This isn't just about Reese and Clark anymore. It's about every player in the league feeling safe and respected. But here's where it gets even more complicated. Reese thinks there's more to this hatred than just sports rivalry. She straight up said, I think there's a lot of racism when it comes to it. That's a heavy accusation. But can we really ignore it? This whole situation is forcing us to look at some ugly truths about racism and sexism in sports. The Women's National Basketball Players Association isn't staying quiet either. They're demanding more accountability. They want the league to step up and protect its players. And honestly, can you blame them? These women signed up to play basketball, not to deal with stalkers and death threats. So what does all this mean for women's sports? On one hand, we've got more eyes on the WNBA than ever before. That could mean more fans, more sponsorships, more money in the game, but at what cost? Are we willing to sacrifice the safety and well-being of these athletes just for some extra views? And let's not forget about the players themselves. Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark are young women trying to navigate their careers. They're dealing with pressures most of us can't even imagine. One wrong move, one controversial statement, and suddenly they're in the middle of a media firestorm. But here's the thing, maybe this chaos is exactly what women's sports needed. Not the threats and harassment. That's never okay. But the conversations we're having now, the hard looks we're taking at fan culture.
Charles Barkley talking about the Caitlin Clark phenomenon and the people he blames for blowing this whole Caitlin Clark deal.
People believe what we say on television. Just because people don't like you or your personality, they can't get on TV and slander you. It's just total bullshit. These ladies, and I'm a WNBA fan, they cannot have this Caitlin Clark thing up any worse if they try. What is going on here? And the thing I love about her, she never says a word. But these ladies, who I love and respect their game, they couldn't have this thing up.
At Racism in Sports, at how we treat female athletes, that's long overdue. We're at a turning point in women's sports. The question is, where do we go from here? Do we let the toxicity take over, or do we use this as a chance to make real changes? It's not just about basketball anymore. It's about respect, safety, and equality. So, what's all this drama mean for women's sports? We've got Angel Reese stirring up controversy with her podcast, while Caitlin Clark's out there swinging golf clubs. It's like they're playing two totally different games off the court. But here's the real kicker. All this attention is changing the game for everyone. More eyes on women's sports? That's great. But death threats and stalkers? That's not cool at all. It's making us take a hard look at how we treat these athletes. You know what's crazy? We're not just talking about basketball anymore. This is about respect, safety, and equality. It's got us all thinking, what kind of fans do we want to be? Do we want our athletes just focused on their sport, or is it okay for them to become bigger cultural figures? That's the million-dollar question, folks.